come back up.
Howdy! This week, the hunt continues for the Silver Spear mine. The snow is mostly melted, the mine shaft is mostly open, so what I'm gonna do is grab some rope, some supplies, get into these mines, and show you guys what's inside. Last week, my adventures to get into the Silver Spear. The Silver Spear was apparently one of the larger mines here at Cerro Gordo, and I knew nothing about this mine until Christmas this year. And at Christmas this year, I was given this. This is a journal from a woman named Frances who lived at Cerro Gordo from 1939 to 1942. And as I was reading through it, the mine she kept referencing was something called the Silver Spear. I've read almost all the books about Cerro Gordo, and there's nothing called the Silver Spear in the books that I've read. I've asked some locals that have a good familiarity with Cerro Gordo, and the decision's split. Half of them think it's one place, half of them think it's at the other. And when I go online, it's almost the same thing. This is insane. I'll come back tomorrow with my light and some rope. Well, the plot thickens. After discovering those 2 holes today up by the Union, I got pretty confident that that was in fact the Silver Spear. Some think that it's here. However, if you think it's at the Heart Camp, there. I'd be really interested in this. If I take away this wood, how deep this goes, and if there's levels of any type. My plan was to gather gear and go explore these things the next day. But, as what happens living in a ghost town sometimes, nature didn't really care about my plans. And that night it started dumping snow. But the snow is melted. My friend Johnny is here just for one day, so we're gonna get out there and try to explore right now. I'm pretty sure that the hole above the hoist house is possible to get into because it gets quite a bit of sun, but the one up above the Heart Camp may be more difficult and we may not be able to get there today. But who knows? You know, maybe this first one is the one and there's no second exploration needed. I'm gonna get on my harness, gonna get the rope, gonna get Johnny, and we're gonna get up there and see what this potential Silver Spear is all about. Johnny?
What's up?
You ready to find the Silver Spear?
Yes, I'm ready. I need rope.
We need a little more enthusiasm. There goes Johnny. All right. And we meet again. Back. Let's. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
I mean, that rock right above the hole we're going into just does not look safe. It looks like a sneeze is gonna send all that rock tumbling down there. And it looks like half the rocks have already fallen from previous sneezes. Like, look at that thing, it's ready to just chop me in half. Ah, the things you just can't think about when you're exploring old mines. Now we just gotta figure out where to tie this off to. Thinking of rocks, but this rock does not look like the best option. So maybe something further back that way. just so this doesn't go anywhere. Can this work? Oh yeah, that'll work.
We're just securing the rope for you, the ladder.
Yep. Is the rope entangled or no?
It is, yeah.
Let me get these rocks out of the way. Ow!
We're in.
We're in. Wow!
Get out. Nice.
Not quite. Step one complete. We are officially into what could be the silver spear. Some timbering and some crushed timbering there, and it does appear to go down further. So I'm confident in this choice and excited that I've never been in here. How you feeling, Johnny?
Equally excited, as you can tell.
Yeah, just the enthusiasm in your voice is incredible. All right, I'm gonna go skiing. All right, we are venturing lower into what could be the silver spear. But just like that, and that quickly, it is not looking good. What thought was a tunnel has a lot of collapse.
So I'm down underneath where I was just shooting from up here, and there's nothing. It's just all a bunch of wood. I'm gonna keep going. Some cool rock. Just don't want to see a bobcat. That's all. Huh. Hey! That's it. I was up there. Oh. I was up there.
And that exploration was a bit short-lived. It seems that shaft only goes maybe 50 feet down and then it's fully collapsed. I think in the past it was a much bigger operation, but these days there wasn't too much to explore. Well, that was a quick no.
Let's just go somewhere.
We're going somewhere else. We got 3 other options today. Not much time, so I'm trying to get back out of this and go to something that might be it.
Jumars. What? Who needs Jumars?
Nah, not Johnny.
Alright.
Let's get out of this place. It's a bust. And then, right next to it, there was an additional what appeared to be stope. Since we're in this area, we're gonna check out this. I mean, there's some type of cave thing going on over there, there's one above, and then there's one below. So we wanna go in over that little cave. And I remember last time I was up here, I was like, that kind of looks just like a bobcat cave. And now if you look at the snow leading out of that cave, what do you have? Bobcat tracks. So it does look like that. It's a bobcat den back there, but then below us, it looks like there's a mine. I don't know if I want to meet a bobcat today, but can we get in that way?
Yeah, just go down that way.
So we can avoid the bobcat?
Yeah.
Johnny says we're going to avoid the bobcat. So let's do it. Johnny Wonder. Gonna show us how it's done. Avoid the bobcat. Get angry at the static rope.
I hate static rope.
need dynamic rope. Please.
4981 by California.
Be careful. Come back up. Johnny went down first. I went to a different tunnel to explore, and unfortunately, we both ran into dead ends. And so it seemed like the first area that I thought above the hoist was a big mining operation at some point in time. But at this point though, all of those places are caved in.
All right, let's get out of here.
I think part of this fun, part of the experience is just the adventure, you know, just learning about these places, learning where they are and learning where they go or don't go is kind of a win in its own right. And so we packed up, we started up towards past Heart Camp. This is the second potential place that the Silver Spear could be. So as you can see, this is as far as the truck's gonna make it. We are going to hike the rest all the way up, and hopefully the Silver Spear is open.
What's up? Oh shit.
Victor. You know what they say, Johnny? It sucks to suck. We're almost there, folks. When we first got up to the shaft, right as soon as you get there's a lot of fallen down buildings with timbering and sheet metal. And the shaft that we saw looked like it went pretty far down. So there's a debate. You know, I wanted to clear off the whole of all the wood and scrap metal, so that way it was a clear descent. Johnny was of the opinion that if we removed all that stuff, it could make more stuff cave in. And because the sun was going down and we had this time limit on our exploration, I went with that. You know, I was like, all right, fine, we'll leave you the stuff. I went first this time, and I had to squeeze through this tiny little gap in between the side of the shaft and this former roof part that was just laying there. And I'm not claustrophobic by nature, but I don't know if anybody loves being crunched in a tiny little space. There we go. See ya on the flip side, as they say. Adios. Well, guys, snuck through that little hole. Got excited. I'm dangling here. And if you dangle further, it's not looking good. Got a big old collapse. And I got snow falling on me. But I'm gonna go down there, make sure of it, drop me a coin. I catch it or I don't, it stays there forever. Coin goes down there forever. All right, time to go deeper. Doesn't it look like it almost goes back and wraps around there? I mean, entrance is way up there where we were. Johnny's kicking down snow. But there's obviously a shaft here, so if there was ever a hoist house here, it feels like this would be it. This is a pretty vertical straight. And there's timbering here even. Hand hewn, pretty old stuff. There's square nails. So all the context clues are here that it goes deeper. But either it's all collapsed and it actually is collapsed, or the snow is just blocking the entrance, which is through here or straight down. But I can't get there because of the snow. That was also a dead end as far as mine exploration. That one appeared like it was a main shaft. You know, there's all the equipment. There was even like backup air supplies and like ventilation things everywhere. But the combination of the snow and the wood and the sheet metal just made it impossible to get into that shaft. You know, I'm not gonna fully write it off. I still think there's a chance that you could get past the timbering if there wasn't snow packed in as well. But this week, I wasn't able to get in. So then, you have to get out. And getting out was something that I punted down the road for the future. Now is when things get interesting. Whew. My new jacket. Oh no.
Okay, dude, stop. Give me your hand.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Give me your hand.
Oh.
Give me your
Oh, we need to get this thing up.
Give me your hand.
No, get this up.
Oh, that off?
Yeah. It was one of those weird spaces where I could get my head out, but I just couldn't get around. And you have to remember, below me is just a straight vertical shaft. But as I got towards the top, there was a timbering going across. And it must have been structure at one point. So I was kind of able to stand on the timbering while trying to push my head up. And then I asked Johnny to try to help move this piece of roof that was above me. And that was a disaster. As Johnny started moving this stuff, first snow fell, so I felt like the roof was falling. And then the timbering that I was standing on just gave way. I kind of just went like that. And as I gave way, the sheet metal roof tilted a little bit and just dumped a bunch of snow, which I interpreted as the actual ceiling falling on me. And I remember just telling Johnny, no, you have to get this thing off me, because my fear was that, you know, this is a loose panel of the roof, that if it just even clipped my jacket, it could pull me back down, fall on my head, or seriously injure me. Luckily, I was able to get out, kind of squeezed my way out. I was a little bit shaken, I would say. I wasn't able to explore deep in that mine, but that's okay. For me, my main determinant of success or failure this week was just being able to get into these things. You know, I discovered it not that long ago. I found where I thought it could be. And now I can say that, hey, I gave it a shot. I went in there. You know, it wasn't what I would hope the outcome would be, but it was still an outcome. So I'm happy that for my mental kind of checklist, it's another one checked off the list. All right, well, a lot warmer today than it was the last couple of days. Sun's out. Snow should be melting. I'm headed back up to the trail to get to the Heart Camp mine, the one that potentially could be the Silver Spear. Johnny and I explored it the other day. Wasn't anything down in the shaft. There's a lot more buildings out there that we didn't have time to explore. So I'm headed back up. Looks like I should be able to get most of the way there this time without having to hike, because the snow's melted off the road. I'm on a road now that has a gate on it, and only me and the FAA have a key to it. And the FAA only comes up maybe once a year, so not very trafficked. So obviously if there's a snow drift, it'd stay in there. But it looks like a lot of them have melted. As you can see, the view out of this is something else. Oh yeah, back once again, hiking out to the mine. Today I'm gonna try to see if I can find any remnants of a home or a cabin or anything that wasn't mining related. The more I think about it, the more I think there's a good chance that this is the Silver Spear. So my hope is that I can find more connections to the stories in that journal. You know, I sit out here and it's just absolutely beautiful and even more remote than Cerro Gordo proper. And I think, you know, even how difficult life must have been up here, you know, in 1940 when Francis was living here and writing about it. And Yet at the end, she still wished she could have stayed, you know? So it just speaks to Cerro Gordo, I think, just something about this town keeps people going even with the difficulties. And I'm included, you know? I don't have running water, but you're not gonna get these views anywhere else in the world, so take the good and the bad, and luckily the good, to me, outweighs any bad we could have. So this is the shaft I went down into, and looking at it now makes me even more nervous than when I was in it the other day, because this thing is just loose. This is what was scaring me, because it could have just fallen straight on me, and the snow off of it did fall onto me. And what you probably couldn't see in the video is right there, there's a timber, and I was resting my feet on the timber, and simultaneously the timber broke, so I was just hanging by the rope, and then this loosened and some of the snow fell on me, so I thought this whole thing was falling. I was just gonna rip me down to the bottom of it, and it wasn't my best time, and we kind of called it a day after that. But if you look, there's more structure over there, and there's a lot of structure down below me, right in that cliff, kind of where the shadow just is hitting right now. So there was definitely a second area to this. You can see up there where that scrap is, where my tripod camera is. So up there was the shaft I went into. Way down here, if you look, you'll see a ton of building material. And what I think is a cliff, so I'm gonna be very careful, but there's even pipe down there. So there might have been more mining operation down here. So I am going to scurry over there and look at that. But first, let's examine if I am in fact on a cliff. As you may know, I hate heights, but let's take a look. Oh, yeah, that is as cliffy as it gets. You guys want to see? There's the ground. So we're not gonna walk any further over that way. All right, let's go see what this other structure is all about. You do not want to slip and slide right here, because it would appear you would toboggan right down a cliff like those pieces of snow are. Like, watch. So I am going to avoid sliding to my death today and get over here. Oh, it's so steep. All right, let's get over there. Got some nice planks. Oh, shoot. Stood right on wood. Almost slip and slid down there after all. All right. Look at this tree. What a beautiful thing. Yeah, this is a big structure. I don't know if it was a home necessarily or part of the mining shaft operation above, because I imagine if the shaft I was in was significant, this could have been a horizontal coming out of the shaft. I mean, the more I look around here, there's just so much more structure here than there was above the hoist house. That seems like it only makes sense that this would be the Silver Spear. Also, given the fact that Frances said that she had to walk a ways, this is definitely further away than up the hoist. The view hasn't changed any. while I was up there exploring these cabins that have just been lost to time with snow laying all over them, I just kept envisioning Frances's life up there, and how difficult it must have been back then. She talks about 12-foot drifts in her journal, and I don't think I found drifts even 1/10 of that, but it was still just difficult to get around. And putting myself in that mentality just gave me a better appreciation for all the people that have been here before me, including Hart. Percy Hart is mentioned a lot in Frances's journal as the main mine owner at that time. So when I got back, I decided to research him a lot more. And he is a extremely interesting character in his own right. He's one of these guys that was obsessed with this place. It seemed to just consume him. He seemed very excited about the mining claims, things that were about to happen, yet things weren't quite going as he planned. There's an entry in here from 1940 when he was offered $750,000 for the mine. And the only word after that is refused. But then 3 days later, it says Hart is late on wages again. So there's this guy that just saw Cerro Gordo to be something bigger. He knew that there was more here, that it could become something more than it currently was, but he's never had the resources to do that. There's letters in here about him always trying to get investors, always being a little bit late on wages, yet always being excited for things going on up here. And I think you see that a lot in all the owners here. In the end, it literally or figuratively destroys a lot of these people. And it's hard not to see some of that in myself, I think since coming up here, I've just been enchanted with the place, and it just consumes all of my resources as far as time and money and everything, just trying to see this place become more than it currently is. But in this town's wake is people that weren't quite as successful as myself. Even the knowledge of that doesn't dissuade me from what I'm doing. I think I'm too far under its spell to go back. But it does make you wonder some days, do I own the town or does the town own me? I don't know. I can't help but wonder what drove Hart or even Frances and Stanley to keep going. So I wonder if they had appreciation for history or if it was just financial. But I can't imagine it was just financial because there's better ways to make money. So there must have been some appreciation of her history. I know in the journal on one day, Frances said that she went to an old Indian campground to collect artifacts. So I think that's a big part of Cerro Gordo, even since 1940. To me, that seems like the distant past, but for them, that was the present. And so I wonder if one day people will be looking around, searching for treasures from the 2020. But for now, I love doing explorations like this. They help me connect me to something bigger, It helps you remember that there's people here before you. There's gonna be people here after me. And it just helps me to feel connected to something, to connect to all humans, We are all connected. If you zoom out far enough, the world is one place. And this helps remind me of that and appreciate everybody in it. So I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Next week I'm taking a detour. I'm getting into a lot of building restoration. I'm sticking out of the mines for a while because over the last 2 weeks I've taken 2 big field trips to help Cerro Gordo. I went to Darwin, which is another big mine in the area, to try to get wood for the cabins I'm building. The wood there is of period. It's from 1870, so it would match perfectly, and there's a huge history there. And I went to Panamint Springs, another big mining area, to potentially solve the concrete issue that we have. I can't wait to show you guys more. Until then, I'm signing out. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope to see you here next week.